Hey, Liam, you also can take them some alcohol, like on a cotton ball, and dab it on your spots, and it'll help dry it out if your mom will let you. I know that works too. But I used to get poison ivy so bad that they used to have to give me steroids medicine. And what that does is it dries it out from the inside out. Reagan, I think you're the only one that's not muted, baby.
Oh, I forgot.
It's okay. All right, so let's read about Washington. Who knows where Washington is? And this is the state, not the capital. Archer, Sasha, where's Washington?
By Montana.
Which is where? On which
West.
coast?
West.
West Coast. So it's California, Oregon, and then Washington. Yes, Spinner.
Where's? Oh, never.
Alrighty. Oh. All right. Find Washington on the top of the geographical features map on page 5. Notice that Washington is in 3 regions: the Pacific Range, the lowlands, and the Western Plateau basins and ranges, and the Rocky Mountains. Keep in mind the characteristics and divisions of these regions as you read about the land regions within Washington. Washington has 6 land regions. Make sure you underline that. As you read about each region, find it on the map, coloring it using different colors. Okay, so Washington starts on the western coast and it goes eastwards inland. So it starts off rocky and then it kind of flattens out a little bit before it goes back into the Rocky Mountains. So it's kind of everybody good? All right, second paragraph. The Olympic Mountain region is one of the wildest, most rugged areas in the United States. Definitely underline that. Because it is surrounded on 3 sides by water, it is called the Olympic Peninsula. Underline surrounded by 3 on 3 sides, Olympic Peninsula. So if you look down on your map, you see that region. It looks like it's sticking out like a thumb. See how that kind of looks like the crook of a hand? And Olympic Mountains looks like it's sticking out like the thumb. Okay, and then underline the last part of that sentence, the last part of that paragraph. Logging is the main industry. Okay. Next sentence. The Coast Range region is the location of the Willapa Hills. Logging, lumber milling, fishing, and dairy farming are the major industries of this region. So
Do
this
we underline-
area, yeah, underline that.
Not the second line, or you do?
Yeah, underline both lines. I don't know what is up with my internet these last 2 days. Hold on before it makes me freeze and pop off like I did yesterday. All right. Okay. The next sentence is the Puget Sound lowland is the region between the state's mountains. Okay. So this is part of the little flat area that I was talking about, the Coast Range and the Puget Sound. They're the only flat part of Washington. Okay. The Cascade Mountains are part of a mountain chain that stretches from Canada southward to California. Underline that sentence. And then underline the next sentence. There are several volcanoes in the Cascades. Most of them. Hold on, I had a pop-up on my screen. Did y'all see that? Good. Okay. All right. Most of them are inactive. A number of mountain peaks in the Cascades have glaciers. Underline mountain peaks in the Cascades have glaciers and permanent snowfields near their peaks. And then the lower mountains and the lower slopes of the high mountains are heavily forested. Miss Creedle can't get that word out of her mouth this morning. Lots and lots of trees, lots and lots of mountains. Ben, what is that? You're such a goof. All right. So beside the Columbia Plateau, you need to write the largest. The Columbia Plateau is a huge basin surrounded by a rim of higher land. Okay, so it's got the Cascade Mountains to the left of it, and what mountains are to the right of it in Montana? Who remembers the name of those mountains? Ben?
Rocky Mountains.
The Rocky Mountains. The Columbia Plateau has many coulees and scablands. Coulees are canyons with steep walls. Many of these are dry canyons. The scablands are patches of hard lava rock on the land surface. Make sure you underline those two words. You will see them again. Callie, you look so thrilled to be here. Okay, did you guys get those two words underlined, highlighted, something? All right, the last region is the Rocky Mountain region, which is made up of a branch of Rockies called the Columbia Mountains. Underline that. In the mountain ridges and valleys of this region, there are a number of minerals, including clay, copper, gold, lead, limestone, magnesite, silver, and zinc. Right now, zinc is pretty important. They say we need to add that to our diet to help boost our immune system, to help fight off any sickness. Is that helping, Liam? Yeah. Liam's got poison ivy all over his face, poor thing. See all that red down there at his lip? It hurts when it gets on your face. Okay, let's move on to borders and geographical features. Okay, so later go back on map page 7 and write a 42 in the state of Washington. Washington has 2 rivers and an ocean that helps form its boundary. As you read the following section, refer to the map. Here we go. Bullet number 1. A large portion of the southern border is formed by the Columbia River. Underline that. The Columbia River is one of the longest rivers in the U.S., about 700 miles flow through Washington, draining more of half the state. So everything drains into the Columbia River. The Columbia River flows from the north to the south through East Washington and turns westwards and flows through the Pacific Ocean. On the adjacent map, find the Columbia River and trace it with blue. If you look, it's already labeled for you down at the bottom of Washington. So just trace it blue. Okay. Small section at the southern end of the state's eastern border is formed by the Snake River. Okay. Make sure you label that. It's this little portion down here on the right side of the corner. See that little wiggly line? That's the Snake River. Okay. Dot number 3, Washington has 157 miles of coastline in the Pacific Ocean. But if you include all the inlets and bays, the shoreline is over 3,000 miles long. So underline 157 miles of coastline. Several of the bays provide excellent harbors. So on the left side of the map, write Pacific Ocean.
Left side or right side?
That would be the left side. Just right here by the coast, Pacific Ocean. Another thing that they've got labeled for you is within these different islands right here, this separates Canada. Canada is above this line right here, and Washington. These are called straits. There's 3 different straits that they have labeled for you already. Okay. Make sure you color those 3 straits. The Strait of Juan de Fuca, Haro Strait, and then the Strait of Georgia. Okay. And then the one sound that they have labeled is the Puget Sound, which is further into the crook down there at the bottom of all those little islands. All right, so let's label the mountains. The Cascade Mountains run north and south through the state, dividing it into 2 very different regions. So underline Cascade Mountains. And does your map already have that black line on it like mine does? Okay, that represents the Cascade Mountains. That line right there. Okay, so label that line Cascade Mountains. Okay, you guys get that labeled? Excellent. All right. We want you to label the Olympic Peninsula. And then label the Yakima River, which is this river right here. It's that one straight in the middle of the state.
I don't see it.
It's right under the mountains, right here. It starts in the mountains and it goes south down to the Columbia River.
I still don't see it.
Right there. I'm writing on myself. Okay. There's several other little rivers, but I'm not going to worry about those. That's the most important stuff. All right, let's talk about its cities. Olympia is the capital of Washington. Find it on the map below. Circle it. Did everybody find Olympia? Okay. Make sure you label on map 9 with a WA. Washington's initials abbreviation is WA. An Olympia is an important commercial port on the Puget Sound. Why would it be an important port? Because when everybody ships things, they by train, by truck, they take it to Olympia and Tacoma and Seattle, and then they put them on boats, and from there, where does it go? Out to the ocean, right, Finn? I saw you mouth that. It goes out to the ocean. So the shipping industry in those three cities, in those three port cities, is very important because they're able to get the lumber that they are harvesting out of their forests to lumber companies. So when they chop down all their trees, they put them on the rivers and they get them out to the port cities, and then they load them into trucks and things, and then they can ship them to anywhere in the world that they need to. So it's pretty much their livelihood that they take care of those three cities, especially in that sound area. All right. So next paragraph. Seattle is the largest city, and it serves as a manufacturing, trade, and transportation center of the Pacific Northwest. My goodness, my mouth is not awake this morning. My words are just getting all jumbled up. All right. It was founded by settlers from Illinois who named it for an Indian chief who befriended them. Production and distribution of lumber was the most important industry and contributed to its early growth of the city. Who knows one thing that is in Seattle, Washington? There's one famous landmark, tourist attraction in Seattle, Washington. Does anybody know the name of it? What it is? Reagan, give it a shot.
Washington, D.C.
No. Washington, D.C. is in Maryland. Liam, give it a shot, buddy.
The White House?
No, that's in Washington, D.C. That's on the East Coast. Remember, we're on the West Coast, way out on the West Coast. Okay, so little side research. I want you to research the state of Washington and the city of Seattle and tell me what famous landmark there is, what famous tourist attraction there is. And tomorrow when we get on, I want everybody to tell me what it is, okay? Oh, come on, Allison. I'm going to take you 5 minutes to look that up. I know. Just one more thing you have to do. Yes, Callie. Unmute. I can't hear you.
My dad says it's the Space Needle.
Your dad is correct.
Yes.
Well, you guys can all thank Mr. Steele giving you the answer. Now you don't have to look it up. Well, I still want you to look it up because I want you to see what it looks like. But it is called the Space Needle. And what it is this massively tall building that you can go up into. How many of you have been out to Carowinds and gotten into that ride where you can stand and it looks like a donut on a stick and it takes you up to the top? Have you ever been on that ride? Sasha, you've been on it? Allison,
I've been on one like that, but it goes up way high.
My dad and sister did before.
Your dad and sister
Been on it.
You've gotten on it, Callie?
And guess what?
Haley has.
Haley has?
I've never been to Carowinds.
Oh, what thing?
I went to a park out in Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
We got on one of those things. It's way taller than the one in Carowinds.
Oh.
50 degrees, raining.
Ooh.
First ones to ride it.
Yeah. No. Miss Creedle don't do that kind of stuff. Anyway, but I want you to research the Space Needle and see what it looks like. Anyway, so down at the bottom of that paragraph, it says, in 1962, World's Fair was held in Seattle. The Seattle Space Needle was built for the event known as Century 21. Oh, look, Finn's already looked it up. See, that didn't take 2 seconds to look it up. Put it closer to the camera, Finn.
I'm on my iPad, so I can't look it up.
Yeah, I can't do it either. Not your book. Put it closer to the computer. Yeah, there it goes. There it is. See it? It's massively tall, but you can go up in it. And you can like see for miles and miles and miles around the coastline and the city and all that stuff. All right, so the next city is Spokane, Washington. Is its second largest city. Kendall, are you done eating?
Cradle. 7,260 feet tall.
That is massively tall. All right, and then Tacoma is the state's third largest city, and it has a military base on it that's important for the United States. And then the last city is Vancouver, and it lies on the Columbia River. And it's known for banking and railroading. It used to be a fort. Okay. How come is it we do our lessons so much faster now than what we used to do in class?
It's probably because we're on technology.
I don't think the computer has anything to do with it.
Because we have to do it earlier.
I was joking.
I think you guys are just less talkative.
We have to do it earlier.
And we're doing it earlier in the day?
No, because we're talking less.
Because we're talking less? All right. So I will get those facts, I will get the facts written out today and get them to you. I got busy with science yesterday. All right. So you should have 4 worksheets for science. Right? Yes, Callie? You have to unmute, sweetheart.
Are we on science now?
Yes, love.
Okay.
Thank you, Finn. Wow, look how big Seattle is.
What happened?
Finn is sharing the screen with us.
That's Zay.
Oh, Zay did it? Wow. Look at that. There's actually a restaurant up there too. You can sit and eat and look out the windows. Pretty cool. All right, Zay, take it down. Thank you very much. All right, so your first 2 worksheets. Yesterday, you should have done the copy work and the Pluto debate. And then today, I have the review questions and the crossword. Okay, so how did you guys do on that debate paper? Were you able to get it done? And if you didn't have all 5 points, That's fine.
Do we
I'm okay
copy the
with-
points out of the book?
Basically, you kind of just kind of read what the book said, and then you kind of put it in your own words. Okay. So if you
But
don't
we
have it
do
done,
for and against.
well, it's kind of what you remember. Your hypothesis is what you think about Pluto being a planet or not a planet. Okay. And so the points are the arguments that it could be a planet. Yes, Sasha.
What do we do with this?
I don't know. Where'd you get that?
From the lap book.
Oh, from the lap book? See, I don't have my lap book. I had to give it to Finn, remember? So I don't know what those are. Okay,
There's
hold on. Anytime you don't know what those pages are for your lap books,
Look in the
if
lap
you
book.
go to the white pages in your lap book and find the booklet number that you're all working on. It explains what each thing is and how you're supposed to lay it out in your file folder. I don't care how you lay it out in your file folder, but it tells you what you should either write on it or how you should cut it out and glue it down. Okay? So I don't have a lap book anymore, and so I can't tell you. So you're going to have to get Mom, or you're going to have to go and read what that part is, okay? I'm sorry.
I'm confused. I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
We're in science, love.
my brother's like, it's all because of me.
You got us all off track.
Are we going to do Pluto?
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. We're talking about the Pluto debate worksheets.
Okay.
Okay, did everybody get those worksheets printed off? Yeah, okay. All right, so like I said, yesterday I got busy with science, and that's why I didn't get the geography done because, all right, I'm going to try this. Share the screen. No, wait. Okay. Zay, how did you show that, how did you make it show up where we saw the pictures of Seattle? What did you do?
I hit the green share thing, and then it said, what do you want to share, desktop or application? And I put desktop, and it turned that on.
Okay, well, because it's asking me if I want it on the whiteboard, if I want it on my iPhone.
Share screen.
That's what it's. I guess this.
Hit share.
Okay.
Now they should be able to see this.
Can you guys see my Zoom meeting? Can you see the front page that says Janine Creedle's Zoom meeting?
All I see is your wallpaper.
Yep.
You just see my wallpaper, my UNC
Yeah.
wallpaper?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
wallpaper.
Excellent. That works too. Okay. Come on. Okay. Remember when we you were reading, it talked about the satellite that it was going to launch back in 2006 called New Horizons? Remember that? Okay. So I actually went on and I found NASA. Can you guys all see that? Okay. So I went on NASA's website and actually found a whole section on just this satellite, New Horizons. Okay. So we're going to look at some pictures and some videos of what New Horizon had taken pictures of Pluto and its moon, Charon. Okay. So there are, hold on, I took a couple of notes. When we go to do the videos, there is two things that I want you to listen for. I want you to listen about the atmosphere, and then I want you to listen about who found the moon. What was the man's name and what year it was found in? Okay? Those are the two things. I want you to listen about the atmosphere and be able to tell me what happens. And then I want you to tell me who found Pluto's moon and in what year. Okay? So. Okay. See the pictures?
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. All right. Ha. All right. So these are actual pictures from the New Horizon. These are actual pictures of Pluto and its moon, Charon, that it has taken over the last, remember how long, who remembers how long it took this satellite to get out to Pluto after it launched? No. Who remembers? Hey, I can hear that. Shh. Nobody remembers? It launched in 2006. And what time, how long did it, how long was they estimating before it got to Pluto?
Wasn't it 2015? Or
It was 2015 before they estimated it was going to reach it. So how long was that?
10 years.
Over 10 years. It took this thing to go from Earth out to Pluto. Okay, see the first picture, see that? It looks like gray rocks and then kind of like looks like a honeycomb. That is the actual image off the surface of Pluto. So because of the New Horizon, they're able to see that these are actual ice mountains. And they believe that that flat part was an ice river that used to be there. Do you see that? So look at some of these images of Pluto. Okay, see the one where it's blue? It looks like it's blue speckled. This is all the ice that's on Pluto. Okay, you guys are like over off to the little right screen and I only see 3 faces. So I'm going to need you guys to unmute so I know that you're listening and can hear me.
okay.
I need some
Okay.
I need some feedback because I
Don't
can
make
only,
noise, Mom.
I can only see a couple of you.
We
I
can
need to
hear
close the door.
All right, we'll
Can I
close
close
the
the
door.
door real quick?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look at that rainbow one. It's
I
cool.
know. Isn't that cool?
There's 3 faces that you can see.
What's the
Finn,
green
Reagan,
and
and
red?
Jay. So that's all I got.
I can
Miss
see
Creedle,
all I want to.
Yes.
Miss Creedle, is it okay if I go use the restroom real quick?
Oh yeah, honey, go ahead. Yeah.
Miss Cradle.
Yes. Yeah, Sasha.
What was the green and red?
That one was another thermal imaging of Pluto.
That looks like a square.
Because remember in the chapter, it talked about Pluto actually getting warmer.
Mm-hmm.
So this shows where some of the heat is coming from. Okay. Okay, so there's Pluto and there's his moon, Charon. See right there, that second picture where the two
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
circle planet moon thing together. That the bigger one is Pluto, and then the smaller one is its moon. So that's why there's an argument that they really don't think Pluto is a full planet, and that's why it's been downsized to a dwarf planet.
There's sort of like a
Yeah,
heart on the
and
side of Pluto or
it's-
something.
Mhm.
So Pluto's moons will fit inside of it in about 50
Okay.
minutes.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up two
So it's a big
videos.
moon compared to Pluto.
Okay.
But Pluto's smaller than our moon.
All right, the first one we're gonna watch, it says Charon at 40, the discovery of Pluto's largest moon.
How long is?
It's just a couple of minutes, like 5
Oh.
minutes, I think.
Okay. I
Okay,
heard a doorbell.
I did.
We
hear
are,
that. What, Sasha?
do we mute ourselves?
Yeah, at this point, you can mute yourself. There it is. There's the year.
Horizon's mission going to Pluto's system. It really is a system. It's a little mini solar system in its own right. We have not only Pluto, we also have a giant moon next to it, Charon.
Sharon.
When we first saw Pluto, Clyde Tombaugh first saw it and brought it to the world's attention. It was a mere dot. It stayed a mere dot for a long time. In the 1970s, my stepfather, Jim Christie, kept looking at that dot.
This is the man who discovered the moon.
I went to Bob Harrington and asked him if he had some simple
Make sure you write his name down.
And he
It's
reaches
over there in the gray box. Right up.
Right.
James Christie in
Right.
1978.
Whose name? Whose name?
James
I
Christie,
took flights from a microscope
and right,
and I
1978.
started looking at the images.
As he was looking at them, he noticed that there was a bump on one of the sides of Pluto. He noticed that this bump seemed to move.
When I looked at the two that were up apart, one had the asymmetry up, the other one had the asymmetry down.
He was very surprised. And then after the surprise, he got a little worried. Was he seeing things, or was he actually seeing what he thought he saw? By looking at that and factoring that in, he deduced that something must be moving around Pluto, and therefore he was able to figure out that there was a satellite.
It was there that I realized that Pluto has a moon. Well, I was at work when he called and he said, I think I'm going to be famous. I think I've discovered a moon. And I went and told Bob Harrington that Pluto has a moon. Pops, Jim, you're crazy.
And then comes the big waiting game, having to get more evidence for that.
Jim did the measuring and Bob did the statistics, and they paralleled in their answers. He told me that he would try to name the moon after me if he could. And he just had made up the name Shara. Shar is what my family call me. And he put the O-N onto the end of it. I'm always thinking about physics, electricity.
Write down who he named the moon after. He named the moon after his wife.
Sharon?
When he came up with that idea, he was a bit worried that maybe he bit off more than he could chew because he was worried about the International Astronomical Union approving something like that.
He got up, he was thinking, oh my gosh, I hope I can name it after her, but I'm not sure. So anyway, he went to the, find the dictionary. Yeah, then what happened was one of the strangest events of my life. It'd be funny if I couldn't find it. And so he got the dictionary out and he looked it up, and there it was in the dictionary, and it fit because it was within Greek mythology, and then it was accepted by the International Astronomical Union as Charon, the boatman that ferried the dead souls across the river Styx. I just feel so proud, and like I say, a lot of husbands promise their wives the moon, but he delivered.
And she has a big smile on her face when she says that.
3, 2, 1. We have ignition and liftoff of NASA's New Horizons spacecraft on a decade-long voyage to visit the planet Pluto and then beyond. The whole world saw it for the first time, and all we had seen before was just a fuzzy blur like. And to be able to see it, it was just incredible. There's a giant chasm encircling the equator of Charon that we think is a remnant of a water ice ocean that was just underneath the surface in the early days, more than 4 billion years ago. These are ice cliffs that are about 4 miles high. That's high. For a little moon, that's amazing. It's kind of amazing when you think about it, all that happened over the last 40 years. Well, you're going from a little blur, which you actually don't see anything, to this enormous detail. It's a shock. And I wish I could see the other stuff.
Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to get my screen to roll down.
Do another one.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, this is when it flew over Pluto.
Wow. Start.
Miss Creedle.
Yeah.
Something happened and I can't see the screen.
Well, I don't know what. Try to go off and come back on.
Wow, that's cool. Okay.
So these are all images of Pluto. This video right here.
That's Pluto?
This is actual Pluto. If you read the gray box beside the video, it says using actual horizon data and digital elevation models of Pluto is the largest moon. And then it keeps going and it talks about our views of Pluto. This is why they call it a system, because its moon is so close to it as a planet. And so that's why they want to call it, what was their wording? A double system? Yeah, a double planet. Okay.
Is that still Pluto?
That is still Pluto. Okay.
How is blue?
No, in the book it says Pluto is not actually blue, even though there is methane in the atmosphere. There's not enough to color it.
Miss Creedle?
That's not the video that I wanted to show you, though. Hold on.
We can all highlight this
Nice.
on the screen.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me close you guys. Oh, wow, look at that.
How do you do that? How are you highlighting?
Ah, this is the one.
New Horizons discoveries keep coming.
Okay, I want you to listen
Presented by
to this
Science
one.
and NASA.
This one's going to talk about Pluto's atmosphere.
NASA's New Horizons, the fastest ever spacecraft at launch, left Earth in 2006 and hurtled through the void at nearly 1 million miles per day toward a mysterious world on the solar system's outer edge. 3 billion miles, 4.8 kilometers, and 9.5 years later, the spacecraft flew by its target, Pluto.
Stop, Finn.
Planet revealed wonders such as nitrogen glaciers flowing across the surface, mountain ranges rivaling the Rockies, possible ice volcanoes.
Finn, stop.
It's not me.
Okay, who's ever doing that? Stop, please.
New Horizons is on its
Get
way
it
to
off.
New discoveries deeper into
Thank you. Now
Now
listen.
by ancient remnants from the dawn of the solar system. New Horizons next
It's not me. It's
X-ray of Kuiper Belt object
How you say it's
2014 MU69 on January 1st, 2019. At about 20 miles across, or 30 kilometers, 2014 MU69 is more than 10 times larger and 1,000 times more massive than typical comets. MU69's orbit indicates it is a cold classical Kuiper Belt object, one of the most primordial objects in the solar system, explains Alan Stern, New Horizons principal investigator. Additionally, a recent telescopic observation made from Argentina leads us to believe that MU69 may be part of a binary pair, or 2 objects orbiting one another. Meanwhile, there's more news about Pluto.
Listen.
Images recently analyzed from New Horizons cameras revealed what appear to be small, low-lying, isolated clouds, the first to be seen on the dwarf planet. Stern says, if there are clouds, it would mean the weather on Pluto is even more complex than we imagined. Other data and images from the spacecraft are showing that Pluto's brightest surface region is among the most reflective in the solar system. Why is the surface so reflective? Stern explains that the atmosphere can snow, making bright surface deposits.
Write that down.
Another recent New Horizons discovery is
What do we write down?
Pluto's moon Charon.
It snows.
These are the first landslides seen in the Kuiper Belt. The discoveries are far from over. The last bits of science data from the spacecraft's July 2015 Pluto flyby reached Earth on October 27, 2016. Over the next few years, scientists on the New Horizons team will be scrutinizing the data. At the same time, the spacecraft will be exploring MU-69, other KBOs, and the surrounding territory to solve more mysteries about the far reaches of the solar system. New Horizons instruments have been hard at work since well before the spacecraft arrived at Pluto. The Pluto Energetic Particle Spectrometer Science Investigation, or PEPSI instrument, has been measuring the composition and density of high-energy charged particles in the sun's outer heliosphere. New Horizons' Solar Wind Around Pluto, or SWAP instrument, collected solar wind observations en route from Earth to Pluto, and is still collecting them out in the Kuiper Belt. New Horizons also has a dust detector, built and conceived by students on the New Horizons team, which detects impacts of particles from asteroids and comets. By 2021, New Horizons will make observations out to 50 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun. The incredible keeps coming. For more news from the outer reaches, stay tuned to science.nasa.gov.
Okay, so
Now it's the wallpaper.
yeah, hold on. I'm trying to.
Hey, Miss Cradle,
Yes.
what are we supposed to do for the Pluto debate?
Sasha, is that you doing that?
Yes, it is.
Stop it.
Are we just
Hold on, I'm trying to get off this. No, I don't want. I want off the share. How do I get off the share? Oh,
in the
stop.
corner of the screen? There should be
Stop.
stop.
Hey, Miss Cradle, what are we supposed to
Hold on, just one. Hold on, just one.
I'm a Cradle now.
Asking me a question. Sorry, kid was asking me a question. Okay, so these are the three things that I wanted you to write down. One was, what did they find out about Pluto's atmosphere? Allison? What did that last video say about its atmosphere?
It snows.
That there is clouds
That's
and
oh.
that it allowed it to snow. How did they figure out that it allowed it to snow? Good job, Reagan. Because the surface did what? Liam, take the pillow off your head. Because the surface of Pluto was reflective, right? And so when they got the pictures from the Hubble telescope, they saw that it was actual snow and ice from it. Second thing, what was the man's name that found the Charon moon? Liam?
James Christie.
Thank you, Liam. What was his name, Liam?
James Christie?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes, James Christie or Jim Christie. And
Jim
what was the year that they discovered it in?
1978.
Allison, you hush, Sasha. Allison, what was the year?
1978.
Yes, 1978. And who did he name the moon after?
Sharon.
And who was Sharon? Callie?
His wife.
His wife.
Yes, his wife. Why was he worried about them not accepting the astronaut group not accepting that name, Wilson?
Because it had to do with Greek mythology.
Because at first he didn't think that it followed the pattern of naming the planets and moons after Greek mythology. But then he looked it up in the dictionary, right? And they found out that it actually did. So once they did that, that's when they accepted the name. So did you guys enjoy watching those videos? Looking at
Yeah.
the pictures? That's fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's still out in space. That telescope, satellite, it's still out in space. Huh?
How you record?
How
do you?
You're trying to record.
I am recording all of this
Recording.
because I hit the record button.
And it says record on the top right screen.
Yeah, it says recording.
Hey, Miss Credo,
Yes.
what are we supposed to do for this Pluto debate paper?
Okay. So the Pluto debate paper, we in the middle, you're supposed to put down what you think. If Pluto is a planet, hey, everybody mute. Everybody mute. I can't talk with all that other noise going on. Okay. So in the middle, you put your thoughts as to if Pluto is a planet or not. Okay. That's what goes, it says my hypothesis. Finn, where did you go, son? There you are. Thank you. Okay. So, and these bubbles, thank you, Zay. Yes. Good job. And in these bubbles, you put down the argument that supports your hypothesis. So if you think it is a planet, then you're going to put down the ideas that support your hypothesis. If you don't think it's a real planet, then you put down the ideas that support your hypothesis. Okay? That's what this is for. All right. So, do you guys just want to go ahead and fill in the review questions and the crossword now, or do you guys want to do it on your own?
I already did it. On our own.
Who has already done it? Raise your hand. I got Liam.
I did the crossword. I haven't done the copy work or the review.
You've done it, Allison?
I haven't done the crossword because
Okay. Then
I
we'll
haven't done any of it yet.
okay, then we'll check it tomorrow. So we'll jump back on tomorrow and we'll check our answers for science. And we'll do another state in geography. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
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 That was fun. Bye.
I'm staying here.